A very good morning to one and all. So children, today we will continue with the chapter 4, motion in a plane. So in a very previous topic we talked about the different type of the quantities, the scalar and the vector quantities. Then we talked about the different types of the vector, that is equal vector, position vector, displacement vector, unit vector, orthogonal vector, right? So children, in today's topic we are just going to talk about when we are adding the two vectors. So what is the process of adding two vectors? Because as we know earlier that we cannot add vectors by the simple algebraic rules, because vectors having both magnitude as well as the direction. They are the having directions also. So we cannot add any two vectors or more than two vectors by using simple algebraic rules. So there are some other rules, specific or the special rules to add the vectors, that may be of the two vector or the more than two vectors. So right. So children, very first we will talk about the addition or the composition of vectors. So addition or composition both are the same thing. Process of adding two or more vectors is called addition or composition of vector. Right. So this process, how can we hold this process? How can we have this process? So for this process, we are having a specific rules, special laws for the addition of the vectors. So now laws for addition of vectors. Addition for vectors. So we are having three laws for addition of vectors. So in our very first law, we are having triangle law of vector addition. So triangle law is used to add two vectors, right? Next, parallelogram law of vector addition. Parallelogram law is also used for the addition of the two vectors. And the third law is for the polygon law of vector addition. And polygon law of vector addition is used to add more than two vectors, right? So in our very first manner, in our very first case, we will talk about triangle law of vector addition. So basically, when we are adding something, so we will get one result, right? So if you are adding 2 plus 5, then you will get the 7, right? 7 is the result of addition process of these two individual quantities, right? So similarly, if you are adding two vectors like A and B, so you will get a single result, that is the resulting vector, that is R, right? Now these two quantities are known to you, but the next quantity that we are getting after addition of those two quantities is unknown for us. That's why we will just talk about that unknown result or the resulting quantity by the addition of two vectors. So what will be the magnitude of that quantity? What will be the direction of that result of addition of two quantities, right? Now, very first we will talk about the triangular law of vector addition. So triangular law of vector addition is a very simple law and used for the addition of the two vectors. Very first we will just go through the statement, right? So what is the statement for the triangular law of vector addition? Triangular law of vector addition states that if two vectors are represented, so when vectors are represented, they will represent it completely by their magnitude as well as the direction, right? So not only magnitude, not only by the direction. If we are just representing any vector, so that vector will be represented by the both magnitude as well as the direction itself. So if two vectors are represented by the two sides of triangle, if two vectors are representing the two sides of the triangle, taken in the same order, right? Taken in the same order. Now what is the same order of vectors, right? So very first we will talk about what is the same order and what is the opposite order of the vectors. So if these two are the vectors A and vector B, right? So if we are taking these two vectors in the same order, so how will we add them? Vector A with the head of vector A, the tail of vector B will be connected. The tail of vector B will be connected. When the tail of another vector is connected with the head of previous vector, so that is taken as the same order in concept of the vectors, राइट। जब भी आप क्या करते हैं, किसी भी एक वेक्टर के हेड से having 4 vectors. So one vector की tail से आपने another vector का head connect करा, फिर next ये process continue करके आपने 4 vectors को connect करिए. So those vectors are taken as in the same order. तो उन vectors का जो order होगा that will be as in the same order, right? And what is the opposite order? Well, the head of 2 vectors are connected with each other. Well, head of 2 vectors are connected with each other, so that is taken as the opposite order, right? इन दोनों वेक्टर्स का अगर मैं हेड कनेक्ट करूँगी, if we will connect the head of these 2 vectors, so that order will be taken as the opposite order. So always remember for vectors what is same order? When head of one vector is connected with the tail of another vector, right? Likewise. And what is opposite order? When head of one vector is connected with the head of next vector, right? So that is the opposite order. When head will be connected, opposite order. When head to tail will be connected, that is the same order, right? So now we will just move to the statement again. If 2 vectors are represented by the 2 sides of triangle taken in the same order, then their resultant is represented completely. Then their resultant is represented completely by the third side of triangle. By the third side. Then how will we represent the resultant of those 2 vectors that are represented by the 2 sides of triangle? So third side of triangle will represent the resultant of those 2 vectors, which will be taken in the opposite order. Which will be taken in the opposite order. Now by the diagram we will understand if these 2 vectors, vector A and vector B, will be given to you. So now the length of the arrow will represent the magnitude and this head will represent the direction. So for vector A, we are representing it by its magnitude as well as the direction. Vector B is also representing by the magnitude as well as the direction, because the length of the arrow represented the magnitude and this head will be represented as the direction of the vector. Now just see in the diagram. So if this is the vector A and we connect the tail of vector B. We connect the tail of vector B with the head of vector A. Right? So these 2 vectors will be represented as the 2 sides of triangle. Will be represented as the 2 sides of triangle. Then taken in the same order. We are taking both the vectors in the same order. Now the third side will represent. Now the third side will represent the resultant of these 2 vectors. The resultant of these 2 vectors, but taken in the opposite order. Now you can just see that the head of the resultant vector is connected with the head of vector B or the second vector. So both vectors are taken in the opposite order, right? So this will be represented as a resultant of these 2 vectors. Now what unknown quantity we are having? This R value is unknown for us. This R vector is unknown for us. Now we will just find out the magnitude of R and the direction of R by the expression of this one, right? Now how will you just do the expression for that? For expression, this is simply the statement which representing the statement of the triangular law of vectorization, and with the help of the statement now we will just do the expression. We will just find in expression we will just find the value, the magnitude of R and the direction of resultant vector R, right? Now what will you do? You will just do some construction, additional construction in the diagram. You will just draw a perpendicular from the point B, from the vector B, from the head of the vector B, and you will just increase this vector line of A, right? Now this can be taken as Q and this perpendicular is taken as the N, and where this is O and this is P. This point is O taken as P, Q, and this is perpendicular N, right? Now one angle we are getting here. This angle is between vector A and vector B, right? And one angle we are getting between vector A and vector R. So this angle, we are having two angles. With the help of one angle, we will calculate the magnitude. with the help of another angle we will calculate the direction. So what angle we are using for the direction and the magnitude? This angle theta, which is in between vector A and vector B, this is used to calculate the magnitude, right? And this angle is between one vector and the resultant value, right? So this angle will give us the direction of R. This angle will give us the direction of R. Suppose we are getting the angle value is 45 degree, alpha equals to 45 degree, right? So we'll just draw 45 degree and we can just take the direction from there, right? So likewise we can just do that. Now for the expression, what we are just going to do, we just dropped a perpendicular here, right? We just forward this line, carry forward this line and meeting at the point M, right? Now this line is of the A vector, this is B and this is R, but Qn line is unknown for us and Pn line is unknown for us, right? So very first we will calculate the value of Qn and Pn, right? To calculate the value of the R, right? So how will we just do the, how will we calculate the value of the Qn and if we see in the very small diagram, with a very small triangle, in triangle QNP, in triangle QNP, if one time we calculate the value of the sine theta, so this is the angle, so opposite side of the angle is taken as the perpendicular, this is the base and this is the hypotenuse, rest of the side will be taken as the hypotenuse. So PQ will be the hypotenuse, PN will be the base and Qn will be the perpendicular for this small triangle, right? So from this triangle, firstly we will calculate the value of the sine theta. So how will we calculate the value of the sine theta? Sine theta will be calculated as, right, perpendicular upon base, right? Perpendicular upon base. To calculate the sine theta, we will just have the formula like perpendicular upon hypotenuse, right? Perpendicular upon hypotenuse, not perpendicular upon base. You just do that correction. So perpendicular is Qn and hypotenuse is PQ. So from here we will just get the value of the Qn. Qn will be equal to the PQ sine theta, right? Now what is the value of the Qn? So Qn is an unknown value for us, so Qn will be written as it is. And what is the value of the PQ? The value of the PQ is B, right? Now we are not just taking the value of the B with its direction, we are just only having the magnitude. So we will just only write down B sine theta, right? Likewise we will calculate the value of the cos theta. Now we will just calculate the value of the cos theta from the triangle, from the small triangle, that is base upon hypotenuse. So base is Pn and hypotenuse is PQ, right? So from here we will get the value of the Pn, so that will be equal to the PQ cos theta, right? So what is the value of the PQ? P is also the vector B, but we are not taking the direction here, we are just only taking the magnitude, so that's why we will just only write down B cos theta, right? So just see one thing, if we are just taking any vector, so this represents vector, but if you are not just having arrow above the any vector, so that will represent the magnitude of that vector, है? किसी भी वेक्टर को अगर आप विदाउट एरो के रिप्रेजेंट करेंगे तो वो उसका क्या रिप्रेजेंट करेगा, मैग्नीट्यूड. एंड अगर आप विद एरो डिफाइन कर रहे हैं सो दैट विल रिप्रेजेंटेड मैग्नीट्यूड एज वेल एज द डायरेक्शन, राइट? सो बट हम एंगल्स कैलकुलेट करें तो यहाँ पे हमें डायरेक्शन की नीड नहीं है, दैट्स व्हाई वी आर जस्ट ओनली टेकिंग द मैग्नीट्यूड्स ऑफ दैट वेक्टर्स, राइट? सो दैट्स व्हाई वी आर जस्ट ओनली राइटिंग b cos theta, not vector b cos theta, right students? So this is equation number 1 and this is equation number 2. Now we will just consider the very bigger triangle, that is QNO. QNO, right angle triangle. In right angle triangle QNO, right? So in QNO what happens, we will just apply the Pythagoras theorem. So by the Pythagoras theorem, as we know that so this angle we are taking, angle opposite side will be the perpendicular, base rest of the side will be the hypotenuse. So OQ will be treated as the hypotenuse, ON will be treated as the base, and QN will be represented as the perpendicular for the bigger triangle, that is triangle ONQNO, right? So Pythagoras theorem, if you will apply the Pythagoras theorem, if you will just apply this theorem, so this will be taken as OQ whole square will be equals to the hypotenuse whole square will be equals to the base ON whole square plus QN whole square. Right? So what is the value now? What is the value of the OQ? The value of the OQ is vector R whole square. Right? And what is the value of the ON? We are not having the complete value of n, so we will split it into the two parts, OP plus PN. OP plus PN. Right? And the next thing, QN. And what is the value of the QN? From the above equation, we are just already having the value of the QN. So always remember, this time we are just taking the magnitude. We are just calculating the magnitude of the resultant vector R. So we don't need the direction in any of the case whenever we are just doing the expression for the magnitude of the R, right? So we are just taking the values in only the magnitude terms, right? Now, if you will just multiply 2 times any vector, so that will convert it into the scalar quantity, or that will be taken as without error, or that will represent the magnitude of that vector, that is R square, right? And what is the value of the OP? Value of the OP is, we are not taking the vector OP, we are just taking the OP. That means we are just taking the magnitude, right? So that will be the A plus PN. What is PN? What is the value of the PN? From the above equation we are having the value of the PN, that is B cos theta, from the equation number 2. Whole square plus, what is the value of the QN? From equation number 1 we are having the value of the QN, that is B sin theta. Whole square. Now we will just do the calculation for that. For calculation, what we are having, R square will be equals to the A square plus B square cos square theta plus 2AB cos theta. A plus B whole square will just apply, plus at last B square sin square theta. Now these two terms, we will just combine these two terms. So R square will be equals to the A square plus B square. Will be common from the both terms, and this will be cos square theta plus sin square theta plus 2AB cos theta. Now cos square theta plus sin square theta will give you the value of the 1. So R square will be equals to the A square plus B square into 1, that is B square only, plus 2AB cos theta. And at last R square can be written as R under root A square plus B square plus 2AB cos theta. Right? So this will be the magnitude of R. This will be the magnitude of R. Now we will just calculate the direction of R. Now to calculate the direction of R, we will just use the bigger triangle, that is, we will just draw a line now. O, P, Q, and this will be the angle alpha, and this will be the angle theta, right? This is A, this is B, this is R, right? So to calculate the direction, we will just use this triangle, this angle, that is alpha. So to calculate the direction, we will just have the angle tan alpha, right? So from triangle QNO, right? Tan alpha. Tan alpha will be equals to perpendicular upon base. Perpendicular upon base, right? So perpendicular is QN and base is ON. Now QN. So what is the value of the QN? From the last equation we are already having the value of the QN, that is B sin theta. And how can we write down QN? That can be written as OP have the value of the Pn, that is b cos theta. Right? So we will just have the formula like to calculate the direction tan alpha equals to the b sin theta upon a plus b cos theta. That means if you are having the value of the both vectors and having the value of the theta, with the help of these all values you just can calculate the angle alpha, and when you are having the angle alpha, so you can just draw that angle from this point as the baseline, and you can just have the direction of the resultant vector. Right, children? So this is all about the triangular law of vector addition. This law is very important for the 3 or 5 marks questions, right, for the exams. Now we will just move to the next law, that is the parallelogram law of vector addition. Now the next second law is the parallelogram law of vector addition. So parallelogram law of vector addition, if you are just able to understand the very first law, the same, very first we are having the statement for that. What is the statement? If two vectors can be represented by the two adjacent sides of the parallelogram. Again, if vectors are representing, they are completely represented by their magnitude as well as the direction also. So no need to write down here. Just only understand. If two vectors can be represented by the two adjacent sides of the parallelogram drawn from a common point, that means two sides which we are taking as the two vectors which are represented by the two vectors, those two vectors or those two sides we are taking for the parallelogram will be taken from the same point, will be originating from the same point, then their resultant is completely represented. By the diagonal passing from the same point, right? So how can we just draw the diagram? If we are having vector A and this is vector B, right? If we are having only two vectors, right? So how will you just draw the diagram? This is vector A. This will be taken for the one side of the parallelogram. Now another side will be also taken from the same point. That means this will be vector B, originating from the same point and taken as the adjacent side, right? Now the resultant of these two vectors will be represented by the diagonal which is originated from the same point, that is vector R, right? So this R will be represented as the addition of these two vectors, that is R equals to A plus B, right? Now we can just complete the diagram. So you can just have opposite side of the parallelogram are always equal. So you can just have like, and this will be taken as this. Right? So if this is vector A, so this side will be also taken as the vector A, and this side is vector B, so this side will be also taken as the vector B. Right? Now, this R values are known for us, that's why we have to calculate the magnitude as well as the direction for that. But if you know very first law, that is the triangular law, so for the both we are having the same expression, right? Now you just see that if we just draw a perpendicular from this side, this is O, this is P, this is Q, and we will just meet this line, that is N, right? Again we are having the same condition for that. Now this angle theta is in between vector A and vector B, so that will be taken as for the magnitude, to calculate the magnitude. Now this angle, one angle is between R and A, so that will give us the value of the direction of R, right? Now, so now just look at this diagram. Only this much of the diagram you can just see that. Now again what will we do? Very first we will calculate the value of the Qn and Pn by the same process that we are having in the triangle law. Right? After that, we will just apply the Pythagoras theorem in the bigger triangle, OQN. So OQ will be equal to the OP plus PN. From that, there you will just get the value of the R, and that will be the same value as we are having before. That is R equals to under root A square plus B square plus 2AB cos theta. Right? But you are just considering this much of the diagram as we are having for the triangle law, right? And for the direction, what you will just consider, the bigger diagram, and what angle? That is angle alpha, that is tan alpha. When you will just calculate the value of the tan alpha, that is perpendicular upon base Qn upon On, then you will get the same value for the direction also, that is direction of r. Direction of r will be equals to the b sin theta upon a plus b cos theta. That means only diagram and statement is different, but whenever you are just doing the expression for direction and the magnitude of r, so you will just have to again just do the expression for same as the triangle, राइट आपको वही एक्सप्रेशन वापस से रिपीट करना है, बिकॉज जो भी हम प्रोसेस यहाँ पे यूज़ कर रहे हैं वहाँ पे सेम वही रूल अप्लाई हो रहा है जो आपके पास ट्रायंगल वर्क के लिए था, बिल्कुल वही स्टेप्स फॉलो होंगे और लास्ट में एट द एंड ऑफ द एक्सप्रेशन यू विल जस्ट गेट द सेम रिजल्ट एज वी आर हैविंग फॉर द ट्रायंगल, right? That means if you know the expression for the triangular law, so no need to do the expression for the parallelogram law. That will be the same for the parallelogram law also, but only statement and the diagram is different. So you have to just learn the statement and the diagram for the parallelogram law, but expression for the triangular law and parallelogram law will be the same, right children? So you just do the expression for the parallelogram law to yourself, just again repeat the same expression, right? Now the third one, right? Now we'll just talk about the polygon law of vector addition. So polygon law of vector addition is a very simple law, and that is basically the summary of the triangular and the parallelogram law of vector addition, right? So what is polygon law of vector addition? It states that if a number of vectors are represented by the sides of an open polygon, taken in the same order, then their resultant is represented by the closing side of the polygon, right? If you are having the four vectors, so those four vectors will represent the open sides of the polygon, and the closing side of the polygon will represent the resultant of those vectors, right? Suppose if you are having vector A, vector B, vector C and vector D. If you are having these four vectors, now we'll just arrange these four vectors in a concept of polygon. This is vector A, this is vector B, taken in the same order. This is vector C and this is vector D. So all vectors are representing the open side of the polygon and taken in the same order, because head of the one vector is connected with the tail of another vector. Then the resultant of all these vectors will be represented by the closing side of the polygon, that is vector R, right? So R will be equals to the vector A plus vector B plus vector C plus vector D, right? So this is all about. Now just we are not having the expression for that, but simply I'll just tell you how, if you just wanted to solve this the expression for the polygon law of vector addition, so how will you solve? If we just wanted to solve this, so very first you just take these two vectors. These two vectors, vector A and vector B, are in the same order. Now just leave other vectors. Now I'll just draw one line from here, right? So this line will represent the resultant of these two vectors. This will be taken as the R1. So now we'll just apply the triangular law. A and B are in the same order, so the third cell will be represented as the resultant of these two vectors taken in the same order. So R1 will be equals to the vector A plus vector B, right? Now we'll just again draw a line from the point O to point C, right? Now just see the another triangle O P Q S T. O Q S, right? In this triangle, R1 is one vector and C is another vector, which are in the same order. Now the third side will represent the resultant of these two vectors. Now in the second triangle, we will just again apply the triangular law of vector addition. So by the triangular law of vector addition, this line will be taken as the R2, vector R2. So vector R2 will be equals to the R1 plus vector right? Now we will just see the next third triangle, that is OST. Now in triangle OST, these two sides are in the same order and third R side is in the opposite order. Again we will just apply the triangle law, and vector R will be equals to the R2 vector plus vector D. Now we will just place a value of the R2, and that will be equals to the vector A plus vector B plus vector C plus vector D. And finally we will just get the value of the vector R. Right, children? So this is all about the polygon law of vector addition. Right? So all three laws are for the vector addition law, and sometimes we are having the numericals on the basis of the formulas of the magnitude, that is r equals to under root a square plus b square plus 2ab cos theta, and for the direction, right? So diagram as well as the expression both important from this topic, right children? So that's all for today. Thank you.